This is Jackanory Antarctica.
Slime by David Walliams, Part 11. Chapter 21. Peeved Cow. Mrs. Glutton shoved her lump of a husband off her and scrambled to her feet. Next, she shut off the ice cream tap, which had still been slurging away. Click! "It's Ned!" announced Ned, still hovering outside their van on his slocket. "Remember me?" The boy was sure the pair would, after so cruelly stealing his pound note. "No," barked Glenda. "Should I?" "Yes," said the boy, miffed that he hadn't been remembered. "I know you," began Glenn. Ned smiled. "Go on. Aren't you the boy who was just flying by the window?" "Yes," snapped Ned. "But I mean before then, obviously." "You don't ring any bells," muttered Glenda. "I am Ned. I ordered my Mr. Whippy. I gave you a pound note. You just stole it and sped off. No ice cream, no nothing." Mr. and Mrs. Glutton looked at each other. "Sorry, still no, not a clue," said Mrs. Glutton. "To be honest," began Mr. G, "we do that all day, every day. So try as we might, we can't remember individual victims." "Don't take it to heart, boy," chirped Mrs. G, licking Mr. Whippy off her chin with her thick, rough tongue. If this was meant to pacify Ned, it had the opposite effect. The boy became enraged. "Well, I am going to get my revenge on the pair of you, for me and the hundreds of other children you have robbed." The pair looked at each other and burst out laughing. "Ha ha 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 ha! Hundreds," began Mr. Glutton. "It's more like thousands. Millions," his wife chuckled. "Billions, trillions, zillions." "Well, I, Ned, am going to use my slime power for all of them," announced Ned. "Your what?" grunted Glenn. "The boy is bananas," grunted Glenda. "Your crime spree is over." "You'll have to catch us first," exclaimed Mr. Glutton. With that, he hauled himself onto the driving seat and stamped on the accelerator pedal. Boom! Boom! "So long, sucker!" they shouted. The ice cream van lurched off. Screech! Toppling Mrs. Glutton off her feet again. "Oof!" she cried as she landed on her ample bottom. The problem was that the windscreen was still covered in ice cream. Mr. Glutton couldn't see a thing. As a result, the van skidded off the road, screech, smashed through a hedge, crunch, then bumped its way across a field of cows. Boom, 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 boom. "Moo!" cried the cows. As well you might if an ice cream van was speeding straight at you, and of course you were a cow. "Watch where you're going, you fool!" yelled Mrs. Glutton, bouncing up and down in the back. "I can't see a damn thing!" yelled Mr. Glutton. He flicked on the windscreen wipers. Swish, swash, swish, swash. "The ice cream won't come off!" he bellowed. "That's because it's on the inside, you ignoramus!" Mrs. Glutton bellowed back. The man shook his head and wiped the inside of the windscreen with his sleeve. At last he could see, but the sight that greeted Mr. Glutton made him shriek with horror. Ah! On Ned's suggestion, slime had formed into a giant Mr. Whippy ice cream. The boy was the topping. "Remember me now?" called Ned. The ice cream van was heading straight for it. "Still no!" barked Mr. Glutton. He was driving too fast to make the ice cream van stop. He stamped on the brake, stomp, so hard that the back wheels jumped up in the air. Whoosh! It somersaulted over the giant Mr. Whippy before crash landing upside down on the grass. "Moo!" cried the cows as they scattered out of the way. Slime translimed back into a blob, placing Ned on the back of the peeved-looking cow. "Moo!" Ned patted the cow. "Good girl." "We'll get you for this!" shouted an upside-down Mr. Glutton. "We'll get you good and proper!" agreed an upside-down Mrs. Glutton. Then the boy gave the cow a gentle slap, and it trotted closer to the ice cream van. Well, seeing as you love ice cream so much, I thought you might like to try the special slime flavour. Slime flavour? Bawled Glenn. Sounds disgusting, bawled Glenda. It is, replied the boy. Slime? Let's give the good Mr. and Mrs. Glutton a humongous helping. A splendid idea, Ned, it said, before oozing through the gap in the window. No! The pair screamed as goo began filling their upturned van. Still the slime oozed and oozed in, until the entire upside-down ice cream van was full to bursting. Then the windscreen, the windows, and the doors exploded with the pressure. Crack, smash, boom! The van broke into pieces. Clatter, clatter, clatter. The gruesome twosome oozed out onto the cowpack-covered grass in a giant puddle of slime, or sluddle. Ugh! Moaned Mrs. Glutton. I'm all slimy! What's he done to our van? Cried Mr. Glutton. Slime, seize their ice cream, ordered Ned. Goody, goody, replied the blob, as it gathered itself back together. No! Cried the pair. We've barely eaten all day, said Mr. G. We are starving, added Mrs. G. But Slime was quick, and had soon pulled the huge metal ice cream dispenser out of the wreck of the van. Clunk! We have some hungry children to feed, Ned announced. Let's fly! Slime became a giant airship, or slimeplen, and picked up the boy from the back of a grateful cow. Moo! Then it whisked Ned and the ice cream dispenser high into the sky. We'll get you, began Mr. Glutton. What's your name again? So long, suckers, called back Ned. Chapter 22. Ice Cream Party. The kids from Twaddle School for Noble Offspring were still boo-hoo-hooing beside the ruin when Ned returned in his airship made of slime. Boo-hoo-hoo! Kids, called out Ned, I told you I would be back, and I brought ice cream. Yes! They all cheered as Slime and Ned descended. Slime set the ice cream dispenser down on the boring block of stone that the grown-ups claimed was once part of Mulch's medieval fort. The posh children all rushed over to the big metal box of Mr. Whippy. Ice cream! They cried. Yoo-hoo! Slime was now back to its blobulous self, sitting next to Ned on a mossy stone. The friends shared a smile at another job well done. In an instant, the cheers of the children turned to silence. Excuse me, but where are the cones? Asked one. Oh, sorry, we didn't think to bring any cones, replied Ned, rather taken aback. And I'm partial to a chocolate flake, remarked another. Well, we didn't really have time to. And the hundreds and thousands, inquired a third. Ungrateful little, began Slime. Shh, shushed Ned. Woo-hoo-hoo! They all bawled together. Now we are not going to have any ice cream, moaned one. This trip has gone from bad to worse, whined another. Take me back to double maths, whimpered a third. Slime rolled its eyes. I've got a good mind to take that ice cream dispenser and shove it. Shh, shushed Ned. Look, kids, all you have to do is flick the nozzle and it's an ice cream party. Ned did just that. Click. And the soft white Mr. Whippy ice cream splurged out. Splurge. It splurged all over Ned. Splurge. It splurged all over Slime. Splurge. It splurged all over the children. Splurge. It splurged all over Mulch's medieval fort. In no time, everyone was covered in the stuff. They looked like snowmen. Ice cream party! Cried one, licking the ice cream off her nose. This is the best day ever! Cried another, scooping handfuls of ice cream off the top of her head and shoving them in her mouth. I still would have liked a flake, muttered a third tearfully. I'm dairy intolerant, remarked a fourth. Is there a vegan option? You can't please everyone, muttered Ned to Slime. It certainly seems that way, he replied. Where next, my friend? The day is coming to an end. Ned instantly knew where. Everything today had been leading up to this. This is the last one, and it's going to be dangerous. Goody, goody! I love danger, Slime replied. I wonder where they're off. We'll find out in part 12. But for now, good night.